Alright, we are connected.
Yay.
So you guys are in the Feywild, but what does Drask remember of what the hell is going on?
Drast doesn't remember much of anything.
He drank too much.
I'm not sure. The last time I was here was when we went into the forest.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
So
Alright.
how bad did it get?
Does everybody else want to catch him up regarding the horrors of the cavern and the cutting off of the child's hand and going into the Feywild?
I saw the child's hands getting cut off.
Alright.
Okay. I was gonna say that's the part I remember most clearly because we were there for that at least in part.
Yeah,
But
I remember that.
There was a portal and we got half tricked into it, and Sim stayed behind, and we met his twin brother, who's kind of the foil for his character. And the enchantress is feeding everyone, even though I said not to eat the food. There was something about kelpies chasing everyone into trees, so it's.
Oh yeah, if you guys watch that YouTube episode, it's actually a really funny episode, and it's a glorious murder tag episode. Murder tag.
But
I know what I was in.
You muted yourself.
We were finding out that what do we call her? The woman who saved all these children.
Enchantress.
The Enchantress. Had plans for the children she rescued, but was being quite vague in her responses. And I was gorging on food while Shayna tried to slip away and investigate further. What? You want to take it from there?
Oh, that was just my catching up. Or rather, Rosha's catching up on how her people were faring in the tidal wave, which perfectly fine. And then I updated I tattled on Narga, even though there wasn't much to share via stone walkie-talkie.
Oh, Savra took more from that conversation than you realize.
Oh, I'm sure, but Rosha doesn't know that.
So, Drask, do you eat anything from the feast that the Enchantress provides?
If Rose said no, I did not.
Someone!
Alright.
Yes.
So, Barrett and Narga, I believe, are the only two people of the party that have eaten. You do get a 1d6 inspiration dice that you get to use sometime in the next 8 hours of gameplay. However, pause, you also have disadvantage on saving throws against effects and spells cast by Fae. Wisdom saving throws specifically.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, wisdom saving throws specifically.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how specific that is, but...
Well, they're Fae. The specificity is kind of their deal.
It's actually my window
right.
trying to keep me cool because I don't have any AC.
I kind of love it. It's very dramatic.
Okay.
It feels fitting. It's thematic.
All right. So, Narga has run off into the forest by himself, screaming the most horrified scream any of you have ever heard Narga emit. After the Enchantress had kind of like exuded some sort of power, Spider had gotten like all blushy and nervous at the same moment and extricated himself and hit up a tree. Your Tabaxi friend Flash, going full in the murder pony tag, is also hiding up a tree. However, he has managed to get the Kelpies to go back into the water after he used some very specific spells that hurted their tiny little hooves. So, Flash is up a tree hiding, Spider is up a tree hiding, and Narga is somewhere else, having run away screaming, terrified. And you don't know why he was screaming, terrified, from whatever the Enchantress did, because everyone else seemed to really like it. Also, that was definitely me remembering something about Narga and then not connecting it at the point I did that with the Enchantress. And it worked out so very well. So Barrett has been eating the feast. Timian has been pinching the bridge of his nose, crossing his arms, while his Leshen friend has run after Narga. And Bloodlust, the red cap, is like trying to find Spider after having a very interesting interaction where Bloodlust seemed to think that this was going to go more, and then Spider hit up a tree. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, unfortunately, my first course of action was going to be chasing after Narga, but since he's not here, and we can't rescue Spider or the Tabaxi either, I have no, I have no ideas what to do now.
So,
Didn't you try to sneak off somewhere from the Enchantress?
I did successfully sneak off. That was to make my little stone phone call, which I already did. You didn't notice. I think Timian did, and then dismissed it because who cares?
yeah. James did say he will be able to join us about 30 minutes late, so
Oh, yay!
maybe in 15 minutes the Tabaxi friend might be available to figuring out what the hell's
Yay.
going on with him.
All the exciting people are gone.
Yeah.
Now that Sim has seen himself out momentarily, and we're left with Timian. Ew. I miss Sam and Carpet. I'm glad they're safe though.
We're going to need a soundbite of that from the recording later to provide Sim.
Digital loop it.
He knows. He knows.
All right. So, Drask. It's all of this chaos going on. All of the children that you guys rescued have eaten from the feast. The Enchantress did offer all of you hospitality, which seemed to really upset Timian, Sim's brother, to the point where he is just standing off to the side waiting for something. You don't know what, but the Enchantress actually offering all of you hospitality really seemed to piss him off. But the children have all eaten. They have all started falling asleep in little flower pods. And part of your party has run away to play with murder ponies.
Where's everybody? Is there anybody with me?
So Ro has stepped off to the side, and she started talking to a rock.
That's awesome.
Yep. Barrett is eating the feast alongside some dryads and some naiads, and also some sprites and other various fae, and a red cap who is wandering around with a very bloody looking hat on its head, like looking around trying to find someone. And there is another satyr that is standing off to one side, just like pinching the bridge of his nose and just sighing deeply. And that's kind of what you see right now.
Damn it. Everybody's all everywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
we did that really great thing where we don't keep anybody in the party together and everybody goes in different directions to do their own shit.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
I do
Well,
imagine
since
Ro-
Barrett's here,
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to eat my own rations out of my pack,
Okay.
smart.
my little jerky. And I'm just going to sit here and wait until some other people come back, hopefully.
All right. So Ro will eventually get done with her call, feeling kind of like a warmth infusing your chest, as it's like the opposite of denying the gaius.
I'm
So
fulfilled.
you feel fulfilled, and you had this wonderful conversation with Savra, who
I just love.
you just love for some reason. You don't know why.
Just
And
great.
you turn back around, and Barrett is eating all of the food, and Drask is eating rations.
I will immediately, pat Drask on the back. Good man. Whew. And just leave you to your business because you're already eating. And
I got
I'm
caught
not
up
your
reading
keeper,
my
so.
smutton novels to the Enchantress.
Oh yeah, there was that too. In order to make some kind of deal with the Enchantress that didn't involve her getting my eggs, Barrett offered to read her some porn, which didn't go really well, but
It went well enough. But I kept blushing every time I got to the good stuff.
Yeah, you really needed Sim there to act that out for you.
Yeah, Barrett's a prude. We've figured this out now. But yeah, I guess I would come back and join Drask and eat my own rations as well. Share if I've got anything he wants, but other than that, it's just wanting to track people down and help them out of trees or help deal with the kelpies or whatever.
Timian, you do hear, like in a tiny gem that you actually have affixed to your throat, a ping, and it's your Leshen friend, and it's just a thumbs up. It's just a thumbs up, which hopefully you will know what that means.
For the first time, Timian, actually smiles a little bit to himself. And he's going to wait to see if anybody notices.
So wait, what happens? You said he hears a thumbs up?
So he heard like the notification sound of your phone of like a message.
Right, like it's ping.
No, because my minion has done something as instructed.
Yeah, so his minion has done something. He had a tiny gem affixed to the back of his neck, like right around here. He heard the ding, and the mental image he got was just it looked like a plant.
It's like in Facebook. Whoop!
Yeah.
Yeah, the hand looks like just a bunch of vines that are shaped as a hand, but it's just like a thumbs up.
Okay. I mean, we wouldn't have seen that image then, would we? Because it was, I guess, projected into his brain?
Well, it depends on what your passive perception is. I don't think you have high enough perception to...
What's passive perception again? It's your bonus and 10, right? Because then it's 15? The 15 or 18? One of the two. No. Probably not.
It's a pretty high. I will say that.
Oh.
Like, audibly, if you have a 15 in passive perception, you would have heard the ding, but you wouldn't have noticed anything else.
Okay, then I would have heard the ding and not anything else. Because I think my passive's 15. Okay. We're all the wrong people to be doing the things that we're doing. It's a consistent theme with this campaign so far.
It's like the people that could have helped you most were intentionally removed.
Oh, how could you say such a thing? I don't believe it.
Thumbs down.
Dislike.
Yeah, I'm gonna dislike that post you just got.
Alright, so these strangers from another plane of existence, upon hearing the ding, all just kind of like give you weird thumbs downs that have no context.
I really do love the idea of approaching fade magic like social media. There's something very fitting to it.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I just want to go and rescue everybody. There isn't really, I have no investment in the Enchantress or anything because I have Savra. And I don't need another gorgeous lady telling me what to do. I've already got one. I'm good.
You're not worried about the children?
They're
Huh?
alive.
You're
I mean,
more worried about your eggs. Huh.
I don't have any eggs, but also that's still just about the creepiest
So
thing.
selfish. So
Oh
selfish.
my god. So anyone who missed it, it was, Ro acknowledged that she never intended on having heirs. That's not how they pass on their lineage. So the royalty, she doesn't need to have kids. The comment the Enchantress came back with was, "Oh, honey, they don't need to be fertilized." Problem. It's still in my head. So, yeah, pass. I don't need any but one on my eggs. So yeah, if we're gonna do that, I'll stick with Aubrey. Unless
I think
we
the
can
eggs-
start to, like, I guess try and find people and attack the Kelpies without them. I don't know.
So the Kelpies are in the water. They seem to have left your companions alone at the moment. That is also probably the creepiest thing I have ever said, by the way.
It's pretty good. It's pretty up there. Yeah. I congratulate you though, because it is very Faye.
Yeah.
It's exactly what one of them would say. In court, like, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll take care of that. You're like,
Hey,
that
eggs for
doesn't fix the
children.
issue.
Eggs for children feels like equivalent exchange.
Calm down, FMA. It's not that. It's also the children are alive, and that fulfills Ro's morality.
Yep.
And she apparently wasn't perceptive enough to know that, anything necessarily really bad might happen to them. So she's got no concerns other than, her friends at this point.
Yep. All right. So, Drask. Ro is walking back to the feast, probably staring glares at Barrett because he is eating. And Timian is actually kind of smiling, which he hasn't been thus far.
Like the cat that got the hyena or mouse.
Yeah.
That was reaching.
I'm trying to be helpful because you're very unmotivated.
Yeah. It's not a lack of motivation, it's a lack of the players needed to fulfill said motivation.
So, one of those players has already been handled. Hopefully, the other two might join us. I'm going to grab something to drink if one of you might be willing to message Travis to figure out if he's joining us.
He said that his family was in town the other night, so he was seeing if we could play Monday because they wanted to go out on Tuesday. So when we said Tuesday, I think that he probably just assumes we understand that he's going to be out with his family tonight.
Nope, that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to grab something to drink. If you guys want to discuss how you would convince Travis and Flash, because James still hasn't logged on, to get out of their trees to join you. And that is a hint that something has happened in Arga.
Yeah. Oh no, that was obvious. Yeah, that was obvious with the thumbs up. No worries.
All right. I will be back shortly. Go ahead and discuss amongst yourself.
All right. Since
I
Timmy
too
and
shall give you privacy.
Privacy.
I don't believe him. Don't believe him. He's lying. He's definitely still listening. Since Timian has clearly already acquired Narga, he's also, I don't know how much you listened or were told, but it seems like Timian is Sim's brother, and their father, who's someone important apparently, wants all of us there. I think we're going to be charged probably with aiding and abetting Sim's escape and,
I don't know anything about that.
honestly,
It
none of
wasn't
us.
me.
Yeah, no, none of us actually know anything because he hasn't divulged anything, but it's the Fae and they'll find a way to blame us. So that's that whole thing. But since the Enchantress offered us hospitality, they can't do anything to us. We're welcome to stay with her as long as we like. So we have to balance and play nice with the Enchantress, but also.
So Timian just has to like bide his time while he sits there.
Lovely. I think we need to find a portal out of here.
Yeah, that's my thing. But now that they've gotten Narga, that's a problem too with my compulsion now. I would say first thing would be to try and get Spider and Flash out of the trees by just saying, "Look, there's nothing down here. You're safe." And like, if the Kelpies are gone, there's no reason for them to still be up a tree. So
I think we need to tempt them with this feast the Enchantress has put before us.
I think you're trying to be real sassy, and that's not helpful.
Have they already eaten the feast?
I don't believe so. Not yet, because they ran off, I think, before the feast was officially laid out, but I don't remember for sure.
Spider accepted some cheese from the feast, but he hasn't eaten it.
Okay.
He put it in his pockets.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go try and first coerce Spider down because I'm more emotionally invested in him, and then try for Flash after. Hey, I'm gonna be upfront. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've got my hierarchy, like the Glasgow's hierarchy of needs, but for companions.
And try to toss up some food from the buffet to them.
I would actually stop you at that point because then you're just doing the thing. So yeah, try and I guess talk them out of the tree.
Well, if Barrett's trying to throw food up and you're trying to stop him,
I'm not sure. Are you actually trying to do that, or are you trying to be funny, Barrett?
It's like I'm not like for them to eat. I'm just trying to like throw it at them to get for them to get down.
I feel like communication would work better, and that's what I'll say to you. I'm pretty sure we can talk them down. We don't have
I'll
to
say
take
fair
them out.
enough, and then I just keep eating, and then.
Alright, so could I have a persuasion check?
What would you like me to persuade them with?
Oh, you can totally try to persuade him if you want.
I'm pretty sure that Timian is not the persuasive sort. Let me double check on that. His method of persuasion is not the kind he's allowed to get away with while in the Enchantress's domain.
I'm very much not persuasive, so I'm just kind of hoping. Yeah. I'm just trying to show them the Kelpies aren't there anymore, and it's safe.
They don't seem to believe you. They seem to keep looking back at the water, with the Kelpies' heads briefly, like, surfacing and then going back down, and surfacing and going back down. They don't seem to actually believe that the Kelpies are not going to be playing tag again.
Just
So do I have
get
to
a ball
kill
of string and get Flash down.
Yeah, I was going to say, Flash we can just taunt down as a cat.
Well, Ro has tried to persuade them. Does anyone else want to
Who has a
try?
better persuasion?
And does anyone want to try to say anything to them?
I'll just be like, "Come on, guys, get down from the tree,"
Come on.
and I will try to persuade them. It's not going to be good
Okay.
Better than me, probably.
because it's just a straight roll for me.
Okay. You still have a chance.
I'm gonna like
It's not a
get
straight
up with
roll.
the Drask and just tell him, be like, Uh,
Are you going to try and support his claims?
yeah, support his claims like with a completely stuffed mouth, like obviously looking like I'm really enjoying my
It's a
time.
good roll.
Oh, it's a really good roll.
Thank God.
Ro, as you were trying to convince them that the Kelpies were not a problem, Drask just says, "Get the fuck down! We've got shit to do." And they just like look at him
Yay.
and like slowly climb down from the trees. And Spider like pets Horse's head, and they all go in front of Drask.
Rose absolutely like taking a mental note of different leadership techniques. I see a firm hand sometimes.
Man, I wish Sim were here for that conversation.
There was no
Yeah.
conversation. This was in her head.
Oh, either way,
She-
he'd have
she's
things to
tried.
say. He would have things to say. He always has things to say.
Yeah.
This would have gone very differently and probably a little more successfully if you were here. But
I don't know about that. There was a
Success,
party going on.
well, yeah, he could just. Oh, well, actually, Timmion's his brother, so never mind. I was gonna say he could just seduce the problem away, but I don't know what the faithful are on that.
I don't think so. No, not with the description with their relationship, and also, ew.
I took it back.
Yes, you did. All right, Timian. So the very pale lizard folk has coaxed the other members out of the tree. They all seem to be congregating together. You
And the
know,
Enchantress did not object to the tone that he took with people under her protection?
nope.
Okay.
No, they were being idiots. If they need to be yelled at, they need to get yelled at.
I'm just making sure because that's something Timian's keeping an eye on.
Yeah,
No,
no.
it's fine.
They. Oh, so the way Drask had phrased it, it was not threatening to them, but he was demanding something, and they replied, and she was like,
Eh. As far as this goes, the technical hierarchy, as far as Rose sees it, is Draska's second in command. And if he's going to give orders, as long as they're in line with what she wants, she's fine with it. In his absence, it would probably be Narga and go from there for no reason for that other than power, but that's what she values. So, not that Timian would know any of this. I'm just saying.
No faith in Barrett.
So people know.
"All right."
Yeah, I'd be checking them over if they're wounded, healing if they need it, and reminding them not to eat the food. But other than that,
As Barrett is probably like currently chewing on one of the delightful snacks.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So,
Timian, upon like seeing this influence that Drask has exerted over them, will actually kind of sidle up on over to him at some point and ask him if perhaps he'd be so kind as to use his influence again to convince everyone to come see his father. And
Does Ro hear that?
Does Ro hear that?
you are all standing next to each
Yeah.
other, so I will say yes, you hear that. I'm not even going to ask for a check because you're all currently
Right there.
together.
like to Timian's perception, Drask is 100% the leader after seeing him that effectively pulling people down out of a tree.
Like a true firefighter, he got the cat out of the tree and a spider too, strangely.
Right?
Yeah.
And a squirrel.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I hear that, but does Drask look to me after Timian says that? What does Drask do?
Yeah, I'll kind of just side look at you, Ro, just to see, because mostly just because as a player, I'm still
Yeah, that's fine.
kind of
That's
confused.
No,
No worries.
that is actually a perfectly fine position to be in because it has been really confusing the last few sessions.
And and I'm just going to be like, I don't know who your father is. I'm not sure who any of these people are. I just want to get all my people right here, and then we can figure out what we're going to do next.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's exactly.
Allow me to introduce myself. I apologize. My name is Tim. You are all acquaintances of my brother, Sim, who my father wishes more than anything would return home instead of off gallivanting, doing whatever it is he's doing in your world. To that end, my father would like to speak to his friends who have come into our realm without permission.
Ro has her response. Whether she whispers it to Drask or kind of just says it before that little tirade. Either way.
Oh, so Ro actually says until we have our entire party right here, we aren't going anywhere?
Yes, which means that we won't be going to his father to meet Narga if he says that that's where he has Narga.
Timian is disregarding everyone except for Drask at the moment because that appears to be the person with authority.
That's cool. Like I said,
It's not a personal thing. It's just he's demonstrated effective authority, and that was
Right.
recognized.
I'll be like, we're still waiting for Narga to be here.
Narga has actually already absconded to my father's court.
Oh, we'd like to see him here first.
He left of his own accord. I'm sorry, I can't make anyone do anything. In case you haven't noticed, this isn't my realm.
That's fine. Maybe you could deliver a message to him for us that we would like to meet him first. I want to make sure we're all in accord before we leave this fantastic hospital place.
Alas, I'm forbidden to return home without you.
You can't just send a message.
Well, I got a message saying that he went to speak to my father with my friend.
I'm sorry, I don't know you. I would only trust the words from Narga himself at this point.
You would accuse a Sidhi noble of lying?
No, I never said the word lie, did I?
You're a relative of Sim, right?
Sim is my brother.
Yes.
Sadly, not adopted. I always thought so, but apparently mother and father claim he is pure blood, and we don't lie.
I'm aware. That's why I didn't say you lied.
I will say for Timian, you do know that where your father is holding court, where he had requested you to leave from, if you can get them to the edge of the Enchantress's forest, they can see Narga. Probably. So long as your father hasn't left.
Then I will share. If seeing their friend safely in my father's court is something that would help convince them to have words with my father, he has, currently positioned his realm on the border of the Enchantresses to make the journey quicker, shorter, and you can see him from the border without crossing.
We'd be happy to come and see him, but before we leave, we would also need to speak with him of his own volition as well.
Well, that's between you and him.
And that's fine. I understand that. I don't expect you to be exerting any kind of control over anybody.
Timian kind of like leans over and looks at the Enchantress and goes, and like turns around and says, "This way," and proceeds to lead to the border. And he will actually stop and draw a line in the ground because I'm sure he can tell exactly where her domain ends and the new one begins.
Of course.
To demonstrate that if they cross this, they have left the protection of the Enchantresses guest rights. Fair warning. And on the other side of the line, you would enter my father's domain, who you would have to besiege such rights again.
Well, we're not leaving the domain. I thought that was the entire, this out of character. I thought the whole thing.
That's why Timian is showing you where the domain ends.
Oh, okay.
It's an act of good faith that he didn't just walk you in, because he said that he would do this, and he's doing exactly what he said.
I understand, but I appreciate it. Also, before I move an inch, I'm going to talk to the Enchantress.
Okay.
I turned her and...
Are you going to yell like across the room because you're not moving an inch?
Is there a room? I thought we were in the forest.
It was a joke.
What's that?
Timian's not good at humor.
Neither is Ro. That makes this really difficult.
Satire, Seder.
Oh, God. So difficult. Are you sure we can't just, like, kill her and reincarnate? Somewhat fun. Okay. I'll go over to the, I guess, Enchantress instead, and I'm assuming she heard all of that.
Yeah, she is watching you guys, but she isn't actually interjecting or saying anything. She's just watching.
Okay, she doesn't have any external really strong reactions emotionally?
Not currently, no.
Okay, I would say I'm unsure where we're going to go from here or what will happen. We will go to the edge of the domain to make sure that our friend is safe and not doing anything against his will or under the influence. if that's the case, we may be leaving your domain to join him, but I hope that we see each other again, and if you ever have need for hospitality in the same regard that you've shown us, I would be happy to give it to you if it was within my power, and I hope that this relationship can continue.
So she is going to just have this shit-eating grin on her face.
I'm sure she is.
It's like, wonderful. Your companions that have enjoyed the feast will still have the blessing and side effects of said feast.
Of course.
However, I will not be able to assist you once you leave my domain. I will not be able to help you get back. I will not be able to provide any benefit to you. Once you cross that line, you will be in Lord Marshall's domain.
What could you tell us about Lord Marshall?
Well, he is really, really intense on protecting the veil between the Feywild and the material plane. However, he really likes to party. And he also really enjoys his hunt.
Okay. I don't suppose there's any. When she said she couldn't offer help or assistance or anything in terms of returning to the domain, does that mean that would Ro know if that means that I just would never be able to find it again? Or is that a little more of a hint of once we're in his domain, he's probably not going to want to let us go?
You could do a. Pretty sure it's just going to be an Arcana check, or maybe a History check.
Okay, I don't think I'm good at either of them. Can it not be a survival? Okay, history it is.
Okay.
I mean, you could always try an insight in theory too, right?
Yes, you could. You could try an insight.
Okay, that one. Thank you. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I'm having one of those nights, apparently.
God.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to get a roll of 10 tonight.
So you personally do not know much about the Fey Courts, except what Sim has shared with you, which has not been much, especially not regarding his father or his brother. And also the Enchantress, it's like a poker face. It's that calm, like service professional exterior that she's not showing any emotion regarding what's going on.
She's made out of marble, I tell you, marble.
So actually, that service personality is shockingly easy to engage. In the real world, I'd read that a lot better. So I guess, yeah, I would, since I know that she wouldn't be able to help us back, and that's kind of it, I would say, okay, we'll go to the edge and see to our friend first. I hope this isn't our last farewell. Thank you again. I don't know if anyone else wants to chat with her or anything, but we'll head to the edge, and everyone having heard about the line, this is mainly to Barrett, everyone having heard about the line, I would hope would make note of it. I would point it out real quick, just to make sure, and go and literally toe the line.
All right. So I will say your your two companions that are not player-wise with you right now. Spider, upon climbing down and going to the line, keeps looking over his shoulder, and every time he looks back, he blushes bright red. And Flash also looks over his shoulder, but he seems super nervous and like keeps looking towards the water for some reason.
Cats don't like water.
Yeah, Barrett, please continue.
I was just going to say I reluctantly get up from the feast, but I hand the Enchantress one of my favorite smut novels for her to show good faith that.
I thought you only had the Kindle.
What?
I I didn't think you
Fair.
had multiple copies of the books.
Rude.
I'm sorry. You could.
You get the
Throw
one.
her.
Yeah, I'll give her Pearl's contact info, and
Here's her card.
since she is pretty much in every domain.
Awesome. The Enchantress thanks you. And you did have a 1d6 of inspiration. At this point, you have a 2d6 inspiration. But you could actually split it up if you want over the next 8 hours, or double it.
Okay, good to know. I'll note down. But I also take note of the pretty much line in the sand, and am gonna follow Ro's instructions as not to cross, because I do like the Enchantress's realm and then really don't want to leave.
Alright, so you come across the line that Timian has laid in the ground. And you can see a group of Fae of many different physicalities, including redcaps and antlered, like antelope or elk skulled creatures that seem to be made out of wood, and a larger version of Sim or Tim, and some dark black feathered Fae that seem to be almost elven, but seem to have feathers coming off of their head as a mane. And you can see Narga. However, there is one of those antlered antelope or elk-faced skull creatures that has Narga in his lap, and it is cross-legged on the ground, and it's like petting Narga's head. However, Narga is making probably the most terrified whimpering sounds you could imagine.
What's a really polite way to demand his release? Stop cuddling my Narga. I would actually just call out to Narga to start with. Like, Narga?
Here, puppy, puppy, puppy.
Sim's not here. Damn it.
So it's pretty much a Leshen petting Narga.
Yeah, it's a Leshen basically with Narga curled up in its lap, but the Leshen seems to be like, well, what's your perception or insight?
Heavy petting.
Go ahead and give me an insight roll. Alright, so Ro, it seems like the Leshen, despite its like plant bone-like structure, seems to be trying to comfort Narga. That Narga, for some reason, is terrified, and this Leshen doesn't know what to do about it.
I'll call out to Narga, like trying to beckon him over.
Okay.
Narga, you're okay. Come here. I don't know, like you would call out to a toddler, I guess, or someone who's traumatized. Not deliberately patronizing, but definitely consoling.
All right. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Why? I'm bad at those.
I know you are, and I'm sorry.
No, you're not, you liar.
Oh, I'm real. Oh.
Liar! No one feels bad for Ro. Not it.
It doesn't seem like Narga is responding.
Trask.
I'm gonna try to back up Ro and tell him, Narga, it's okay, it's me.
Oh, someone yell out puppy. I'll try. Can I try again and try for puppy this time and see if he responds to puppy?
Yes.
In honor of our dearly not departed, but not here.
I will allow it, but I will also allow Timian to do anything in this instant to interrupt.
Oh my god.
You're scaring him.
No, my yelling out puppy just reminds him that Sim isn't here, and he's even more sad.
Yeah, no, he curls even further into the Leshen's, like, cuddles.
Oh my god, this is like. I guess I'll be like, Narga, puppy, please come over here, and just hopefully this roll is better than everybody else's.
Tried the same approach. If it works, I swear to God, please get another nat 20, please. It's still better than.
Yeah, that's good enough. So Narga's head actually lifts up from the Leshen's lap, and he's actually crying. And he looks at Drask, and he recognizes that you are talking to him. And also, Drask, as a DM thing, you are getting a D6 of inspiration for that. Narga will actually look at you and say, Is she gone? She's not going to want anything of me, is she?
Who's she?
Her. The really big knoll.
There wasn't a big knoll, Narga.
There was. She was so beautiful and terrifying at the same time.
Well, she's not here now. Look, you can see she's not here.
It's like, just come over to us, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye out for you, man.
Safety in numbers, right, Narga?
Yes. The pack is important. The pack protects each other. He looks actually up at the Leshen and kind of blinks. He looks back at you guys. And looks back at the Leshen. And then, like, crawls out of the Leshen's lap, looking over his shoulder before he gets up and starts walking over to you. Yes, Ro does know Savra is a knoll.
Oh, shit. Oh, I feel bad now. I wouldn't have lied.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have straight up lied. I feel really bad.
I wasn't kidding when I said this was your fault.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't, though, because I thought he ran off because the Enchantress presented herself as everybody's legitimate attraction.
Ideal female, or ideal
racial, physical, aesthetic.
ideal beauty. I want to say
Yeah.
that, because ideal beauty, and
Right. Well, so then how does that connect to Ro being under Savra's spell?
it doesn't actually.
Oh, okay. I thought Chester was serious, and I felt really bad. Okay, he's not.
No.
I feel like Sim would
Okay.
just see himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever the Enchantress did was the epitome of whoever was looking at her at the time of their ideal person.
Right.
However, with Narga seeing that, he became terrified and ran away.
Yeah. Okay. No, I remember that. I was just making sure that Ro hadn't done something under influence of Savra and that I was unaware of it or something. I was just double checking. It's all good. But I would not have deliberately lied and said that there was not a female knoll. I would have just said, look, there's no knoll here now. You're the only one. It's okay.
Yeah. So,
But still, yes.
Yeah. He does, like, as he's walking over to you, keep looking over his shoulder at the Leshen. And the Leshen does slowly stand up, but it's not making any aggressive movement towards you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, slowly, because Narga is somewhat shell-shocked right now, he does come back to you. And
Does he cross the line?
He does cross the line. Unless Timian does anything.
Timian will be watching his father as Nargo walks over to see if he's being signaled to halt this or to allow it to happen.
So, your father is actually looking at Narga and the party, like, intensely. However, most of the party is still in the Enchantress's land. And your father looks very irritated. And your father did not offer hospitality to Narga. So, unfortunately, your father doesn't have any reason to prevent Narga from leaving.
Then Timian's going to allow that to happen.
Okay. So, Narga crosses back over to the Enchantress's land, And Sim's father is like rubbing his temples, and then he stops, looks at Timian, kind of like crosses the fingers and go, maybe it's time for a hunt. And he seems very excited about this.
Can the hunt cross into other people's guest realms? Does that matter? Just for Timian's knowledge?
So Timian knows, so long as your father's hunt does not directly impact the Enchantress's festivities, that because of their particular relationship, the hunt can cross over into her lands and continue, but they cannot go after anyone who is under the Enchantress's hospitality or protection.
So Timian is actually going to lean over to Drask and be like, if you don't understand what that means, I'd suggest talking to him before the hunt starts. You can speak from here. I'm just saying that maybe you should do it before he changes faces.
What exactly are you wanting to hunt?
I'm not hunting anything. This is
I
my.
was talking to the king, but since he hasn't introduced himself, I don't have a name to call him by, so I'm just calling out.
Oh.
Sorry.
He had actually stood up, and he looks very much like Sim, except once he said, maybe we should have a hunt, his fur and his horns started to actually turn black and red. So when you ask him who he is, he kind of turns to you and he says, I am the Lord of the Hunt.
Oh dear.
A pleasure to meet you, Lord Marshal. What are you planning on hunting today?
No, now he's the Lord of the Hunt. I don't think your friend's paying attention.
The Lord of the Hunt's a bit of a mouthful. I've heard her referred to as Lord Marshal. It's just a shortcut.
You know he's a mouthful? I didn't know you were so well acquainted.
I'm not. Oh, I'm kidding. Very much. Sorry, Rory ran by and messed with my computer. I'm trying not to think of a lizard giving a blowjob. Like, that's what I'm trying to not focus on. You're the one who went
The
there.
lusty maid.
I just don't want that. I mean,
Listen,
it's in everyone's head
As
now.
serious
And
as Timian is, some things are just too obvious.
I don't know. I feel like he's a little more similar to Sim than he wants to admit. I see similarities. Certainly, get it?
Yeah,
Similarities.
Absolutely. He is never going to admit that.
Similarities. Get it? Get it? Anybody? No?
Sim,
Okay.
Sim, what?
Oh, you get the cat. Fuck you. All right.
And he's
So anyway, I asked him what
Sorry.
he's hunting, and Timian's imagining him getting a blowjob.
No, I just riffed off of you saying that name was a mouthful.
So you do relate to your brother Sim.
I already said we're related, yes.
In more ways than
Brother,
one.
does this not have the same connotations and meaning in your world? We share the same parents. Is that more clear for you?
To a degree.
Clearly.
My question remains, though, is what are you planning on hunting today, Lord Marshal, Lord of the Hunt?
Well,
And-
obviously mortals. They're the ones that we need to hunt down. They're going to
Are
cause
there-
so many problems if they are left to their own devices.
You are aware you're speaking to a group of... Well, are we a group of mortals? I actually don't know everybody's lifespan real quick, out of character. Most of us aren't, right? I mean, even the troll technically isn't immortal either. Everybody here is immortal.
Yeah, you're all mortals.
Cool.
And Timian already told you guys that you were technically trespassing because you passed through the outer marshes without permission.
And without knowledge that that's what we were doing, but I understand that they don't give a shit about that.
Ignorance is not an excuse here.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you're going to be hunting, we don't want a part of that. Pleasure to meet you. We're going to go back and head back to the Enchantress and her party and ask if she can get us out of here before we get hunted. Super simple. Fuck that.
he like raises his hand and goes, "Sure, have fun with that. I am interested in what deal you're gonna make for that deal. Load up the hounds!" He like
Oh.
turns behind him, and you actually see a whole bunch of Fae like.
Timian's actually going to lean and be helpful yet again to Drask and say, fair warning, the hunt is not inhibited to just the Feywild.
Well, if he's leading into Drask, I don't hear that. So
Drask does though.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're killing things then.
I guess we're killing a whole fuckload of Fae or dying. Hey, wait. Solution. Never mind. I've got an idea.
All right. I would
No.
I would love a solution.
It's not actually a solution. It's more like Ro could be. Yeah, I was thinking either a TPK, although I want everyone to survive. But like Ro could be a sacrificial lamb that everyone can escape. Yay! What are we doing? What is Drask?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. We haven't been given any options by Lord Marshal, so we've got everyone together. Our only option is to try and find some kind of safe ground. It isn't like a bargain was offered to us; it was immediately murder. So,
Sounds like your eggs need to be put back up on offer.
at this point, I mean, for her friends, she would. Lifetime, sure, why not?
Just
Yeah, I mean, if it was to save her friends, yeah.
How far away are we from the Enchantress to try to strike a deal?
Actually,
For her
very close. Timian, it was like a 5-minute walk to the edge of their lands.
I'm gonna nudge Ro and just kind of yell out. Now would be a good time for protection.
Oh, Ro already started trying to herd everyone away and towards the Enchantress. He had no interest in this. He's literally loading up the hounds, and there's nothing else to do here. We've got Narga. Ooh, who's that?
That's
Perfect.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yay, Flash is here. Oh, you're just in time for the TPK. What's up?
You guys want to catch
What
him
are you
up?
saying
real
now?
quick?
You're just in time to get murdered.
Just in time to die.
Good time.
He's like, no, I'm in a tree. I didn't say I was leaving the tree.
Not too bad. You got yelled at out of the tree by a large lizard man.
Yeah, that'd probably work.
Let's see. There we go.
All right. So Flash, Drask basically yelled you out of the tree. You guys
Okay.
went to the edge of the Enchantress's domain and the Lord Marshal's domain. And, amongst other things, you got Narga back. But the Lord Marshal has seemed to be becoming all black and red, and has declared the hunt is on, and has told his Fae to load up the hounds, whatever that means.
And Timian's been exceedingly helpful and polite. Just
Very. Oh, just ace it. He's been phenomenal. I love him personally.
Is that where we left off?
Oh,
That's where we are right now.
that's where you are right now. The
We're trying to
Kelpies-
head back to the Enchantress to.
Yeah, the Kelpies are in the water. You got talked down from the tree, and
We got
I mean, there's about to be a hunt. Of course I'm involved.
Yeah, but you're kind of the prey. You know that.
I mean,
Do I?
if you
No,
say that out loud, did you say that out loud?
About it. Huh?
Did Flash say that out loud? That if there's a hunt, he wants to be involved?
Like, probably when he first heard that there was a hunt going on.
oh,
Timian
Unless
will actually
anyone
say that
explains
his
it.
father's always looking for
Changes everything.
that actually changes a whole lot.
Yeah,
Flash.
Timian will let you know that his father's always looking for recruits to join the hunt if he's willing.
Yeah? It's right up my guy's alley.
All right, so
Oh god.
if Flash is willing, then you step over the boundary between the Enchantress and the Lord Marshal's realm, and you are greeted by a bunch of Fae, and you feel the energy suffusing you. That feeling of the hunt, of wanting to track down your prey. And you are given a mount. What is your mount? It can be anything.
We've known him for like 2 hours. I'm just saying. None of this is surprising or particularly upsetting.
Yeah. Which is
He's just
really-
like, I just got caught up with these assholes, and at least these assholes like what I like, so I'm going with them. Like, yes, Displacer Beast, holy shit. Pretty please. I just want
flail
that visual.
snail.
No, flail snail.
My initial thought was an even larger Tabaxi who I am now riding piggyback on. But that seems a bit silly.
Well, I mean, it's the Feywild. Silly is very clearly modus operandi. I'm pretty sure you could do that. Oh my god, wait. It's like those little toddler backpacks. That's what you ride in.
Oh
Yes,
my
that's
god.
what you ride in. Please.
A dire jaguar. That seems
Where
pretty
it's got like a marsupial pouch, so you're not actually on its back. It's
Yeah, no, the mommy sling in the front, that rainbow colored, because it's always rainbow colored, right? That just wrap.
All right. So Flash has specified a dire jaguar, which means it is a large jaguar, but it has odd spikes coming out of its shoulders, and it starts at like the main area, but it stops so that he actually has a spot to ride this jaguar, and then the spikes continue down the tail.
cool.
So, Flash, you now have a dire jaguar. However, you still feel all the Fae around you and the energies focusing on hunting the party down that you were just with.
Timian's going to look at Drask again and be like, do you see the gifts of my father for those who are willing to hunt with him? Imagine the friendships you could forge and the gifts you might receive.
Man, and to think just a few hours earlier, I was just kind of bumming around in the woods looking for trolls or something.
Yeah, you really were.
And then it was like tsunami, trolls, then there's this hag, and now I'm part of the Fae hunt, you know.
Hey, Drask, I just
Things
rolled
are
a
pretty
19
good.
on my persuasion attempt with a -1 modifier.
So, Chris does have the option to disregard it if he is like completely ignoring what you're saying, or if he is open to what you're saying, he can do either just accept it or a insight roll against it.
Oh,
It's up to you. Like, you have options.
yeah.
That was really just to represent like how good of a salesman he's trying to be, which is not his strength at
I'm
all.
trying to be practical, trying to figure out the way out of this. So I'm going to turn to Ro. I'm like, do you have a way to talk the Enchantress into this?
I'm just going to ask her if she can either help continue with our protection, or I'll offer anything that I can to get us out of this realm.
Better with the hunt than in front of the hunt.
Yeah, but the only other mortals here are the children that we've been fighting to save and protect. So unless he's going to leave them alone, which it sounds like he's not, I'm not interested in hunting children just to save my own skin. Call it
You're
morals.
also assuming that those are his targets.
His targets were quote unquote all mortals.
They
If we
trespass.
join the
Can
hunt,
children trespass?
I don't know, can they? Is it because they didn't know? Because I thought you were saying something earlier about knowledge still making, not a lack of knowledge not making you non-complicit.
But
Something
you never
like
stop to ask if the Feywild has different rules for children.
You're right, so I'm gonna go talk to the Enchantress who's not a douche. I'm not saying that in character, that's out of character, but God, you in this campaign, I swear to God, I love you.
As we're running back, he's just running alongside, taunting.
I'd love to bitch slap
Pretty
Timian.
much. I'm pretty much sure that's what Timian's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Timian does not believe he's taunting. He's not making fun of everyone. He's genuinely trying to sell you, but he's got a charisma modifier of -1.
Yeah,
Horrible.
you are actually doing an amazing job of selling that -1 charisma modifier. I
Really true.
absolutely love Timian. All right.
It's very unnatural for me, and I don't like it.
How do you think I feel? You got to change characters. I'm
Into you. I changed into you.
Oh, please. Take Ro from me, for the love of God.
Yeah,
Pretty
just join the
please.
hunt.
Well,
Sorry, James. Don't worry about it. I see your incredibly confused face. Ro is the type of character I hate. I not hate playing, but I wanted to experiment playing a really serious character and didn't know this is what this campaign was going to be. So she's the worst possible character to be in this campaign and ineffective in literally everything she tries to do. So
I do have a question. Is
and
Yes.
Barrett out of character? Is Barrett a Beastmaster?
No.
Did Travis pick that up? Because I know one of you was talking about it. I couldn't remember which one.
yeah, I thought Travis took a level or two.
Barrett
Because
is,
I would wager
however,
that seeing that was probably pretty fascinating.
I want to share this. So, Spider was talking, or Travis was talking about taking Beastmaster, but I offered the, I think it was called Monster Tamer from MCDM. It's slightly different, but it's going to give him the options of actually doing something like horse being his like companion or something like that. He's going to have the option of having more Squirrel Lord stuff. That's part of the reason I've been offering these weirder things to him, cuz with the ranger I do know that for me at least I have to pay attention to your guys's, like, if we're in an environment where your favorite terrain is important, that's going to be important, and where your favorite
Anemone.
yeah, that one, that's going to be important, and I've been trying to pay attention to it, and I've been trying to bring it up, but he is trying to go a path that means he's going to be trying to, like, be more in tune with monsters and monstrosities than normal creatures. So I've been trying to offer some things for that. Yeah, no, he has decimated, like, the checks he's done regarding this potential Fey incursion stuff. He even saved himself because of his Fey being the favorite enemy. He actually saved himself from the Enchantress.
So he may have things about the hunt as well, or thoughts that I don't.
Yeah, we don't know, and unfortunately, he's not here. So
You get to do what you want.
I could, but mostly he's just trying to shepherd Horse and his Squirrel Lord, or his squirrel, along with Ro, to a safe area right now. Also, because he's somewhat both enamored and terrified of the Enchantress.
Aren't we all?
So, how do you want to approach the Enchantress? Because the Lord Marshal is gathering together the hunt. Flash is now on a dire jaguar. Who you can name the dire jaguar whatever you want.
Fluffy.
I was gonna say puppy, but that's already taken. I'm trying to go in line with pony and squirrel. Although wait, what was squirrel? What did he name squirrel? I forget. What did
Squirrel.
Spider name squirrel? Did he name it squirrel?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
I will say this with your question, Shayna.
Yes.
The Gaius just requests that you notify Savra of what Narga is up to. It is nothing regarding having to act against him.
If, however, informing her in that way leads to her interacting with him, and that does hurt or upset Narga, that morally for her will still apply.
Yeah, that will come up
Just so
whenever.
you know. Yeah. If she lives through this, just letting you know.
Oh no, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. So, in terms of approaching the Enchantress, just going to be real upfront and say, hi. So it sounds like he's going to start a hunt for all mortals. I don't know what that entails, but it sounds like us and those kids. Is there a way that I could make some kind of deal with you to get as many of us out of here as possible and back to the mortal realm?
Well, absolutely. The kids are fine. They've partaken of my hospitality. I think maybe a couple of you are fine, but I can open a portal for you. Fair warning, though, and I feel like I'm totally sharing way more than I could. The time might be a little bit weird regarding you coming back. But I could open a portal. I just need something that is reciprocal. And if I could have something that the Lord Marshal would also want, I can totally get him off your backs. He won't follow you into the material plane.
Do you know what it is the Lord Marshal wants? Because he didn't say to us.
Oh, he wants so many things.
What would he want that we could give to you reasonably that you could then deal with him for us, it sounds like, which I appreciate.
So many things. Timian.
For the record, Timian said his dad wanted to talk. We got there. His dad only said that the hunt was starting. And
he wanted to talk to friends of Sim because he wants Simeon to come home.
Right, but he didn't ever say that. And
you didn't actually cross over and talk.
You said we didn't have to. You said we could talk from where we were.
You could, but you didn't really talk. You yelled, and you stole Narga back.
It wasn't a theft because you said you didn't possess him. He was there of his own volition, which meant he could leave if he wanted, which he did.
He did, under your influence.
Drask's, actually, but thanks. Try again.
Apparently, Drask is the only one with influence around here.
Drask is the only one with anything effective. Swear to God. Just take over.
So the Enchantress is actually going to turn to Drask.
Thank you.
And she is going to say, well,
Breathing.
It does sound from some of my companions, and she actually looks to a bunch of sprites that are flickering around, that you seem to have a lot of influence. We could come upon an arrangement where it would be mutually beneficial. I could get the Lord Marshal to stop hunting you. However, I am going to need something in return, and I would like to hear what you might be able to provide.
She's talking to me?
Yeah, she's talking to you.
Well,
sorry, bro.
See, the thing is, we're all a mixed-matched party here. I need to know some specifics. What do you need? And then I will tell you if we can do that.
I'm going to chime in. What do you need other than our actual bodies?
Oh, I don't.
I
don't need your actual bodies unless you're willing.
Just your eggs.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with eggs. I am very interested in you providing a weakening point between the Feywild and your realm. I would be willing to have a favor in the future that I get to name.
If eggs are still on the table, I mean, how many? What you want? What you need?
Well, if it's for the favor of opening a portal back to your world and getting the hunt off your back, I'm gonna need 5.
Okay, you can have them.
How does that work?
God knows.
How does this cage-free eggs work?
You know, I don't know much about reptiles.
Timmy's gonna lean into Dresk and he's gonna be like,
wait, why
I'm
is Timmy
confused.
in there?
Didn't you have a problem?
Timmy and Cross are back over with us?
Timmy
Yeah.
never crossed into his father's domain. He stayed with you. He's not allowed to
Oh.
go back without you.
Oh, sorry.
So he's
I
actually
didn't
going to
mean
ask
to
Dresk
interrupt.
because he's very confused how someone who was worried about children a second ago is now giving away unborn children, which are even more vulnerable.
They're not fertilized.
Yeah, they're not fertilized, so
Hence the vulnerability.
The Enchantress just wants to make an omelet, I'm pretty sure.
you know
I
what?
don't think that's
Honestly,
the
I was
case.
gonna make that joke. I was like, do reptilian eggs cook in the similar way
I was
poultry
just about
eggs,
to say
or
that.
no?
How big are they? Like ostrich?
Yeah, I was thinking, are they ostrich-ish? Like, how uncomfortable? Is there a menstruation cycle? What happens here?
All
Like-
right. So with reptilian
Hard
eggs,
boiled.
there is a gestation cycle. They are about the size. Let's take a snake.
Okay.
They are slightly larger than their normal width.
Okay.
It's
And
odd.
bigger
You
than
can actually
tall.
tell when a snake is gravid because you can actually see the bulges.
Oh, that makes sense.
So for a lizard, it would be the same thing, but they've got legs and things. So
Right.
for roe, they're probably maybe like this.
Okay.
How long does this take? And is she asking for this all up front? Or is this
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I would
pay
ask,
over time?
what are the physiological details of this deal? Like, how would you like to proceed? Is this just 5 eggs in the future? Like the next 5 that I do
Your 5
whatever I do,
firstborn
and
children.
then you get them? Like, how do you want to? Do I mail it? Is there a
Well,
post box?
if we want to expedite this, then I'm just going to boop your nose, and then your next cycle, I will collect the eggs.
Real quick, just checking. So, with these eggs in my, hey, sorry everybody, conversation. You're having it. You're all, whatever. Are these eggs something that she would have been passing anyway, or wait, Chester, where are you going? Chester, come back.
You
Didn't
just
you-
lost it. So
Look,
reptiles.
Come back. This is your this. I can't hear you. You got to join in. Come on.
I can hear fine. I was just getting a water.
Okay.
Reptiles normally don't pass eggs unless they have had other fertilized eggs as well. Reptiles do sometimes pass what's called slugs, which are eggs that are not viable.
Oh, okay.
But
If
they haven't actually gone through the mating cycle, they're not going to pass eggs.
okay, I'm assuming just because it's magic, then Ro would just suddenly be able to do that.
Yeah, no. The impression is if your nose is booped, it's not going to be fertilized eggs, but you're going to be passing eggs even though you would
Okay.
normally.
Or maybe they will be fertilized, part of the note.
You don't actually know.
I was gonna ask. Ro would want to know what's going to be done with these eggs then.
Oh, I am going to be infusing them with magic from various fey creatures, and we are going to be creating some new fey creatures. It's going to be amazing!
But you're not going to do anything to harm them or raise them in mean ways.
No, they're going to be the new fey children. I'm not
Will
going
they be free?
Of course they're going to be free. They're going to be part of my court until they come of age, and then they will get to choose which court they want to be part of.
That's her only concern, really. Would they be? Yeah, if they'll be healthy and taken care of and free, then I mean, it's not like Ro ever planned on having kids and doesn't care. So yeah, I guess I'm giving her
You can check on your children
my
weekly.
genealogy, which
You can visit them on alternate weekends.
considering
There we go.
originally Ro was supposed to be sealing up the little holes in between these universes or dimensions. I don't know about visitation rates. I could ask though. Maybe later.
For Christmas, though.
We'll be I get them for what's the? Oh, there is a wait. when I wrote up the religion, I started writing up a holiday calendar. I'll
Oh my god.
find it later. Shut up. I had games. I've got everything for this fucking culture. Anyway, yeah. Okay. I
Dreidel,
guess
dreidel.
that's a deal. Five eggs as they would come naturally.
All
I
right.
guess.
So she rubs her hands together and she reaches out towards your nose, and she goes slow enough that if you last minute choose to let go, nope, that she's giving you an out, but she is going to boop your nose.
Okay.
And it's a full-on boop, and that's it. And then
Bippity boppity boop.
and then she opens a glowing rift between the Feywild and the material plane, and it looks kind of like a glowing, shimmering portal. As you hear in the background, the hounds and the roar of the dire jaguar.
Yeah, Flash can stay if he wants. Like, that's super fine. You're happy with them.
So Flash is actually going to have a choice, because the hunt is going to be derailed by the Enchantress, because she's actually going to offer a couple of those eggs to the Lord Marshal.
Well, that wasn't. I was told that they would be free, and it doesn't sound like Lord Marshall does the free bit where they get to choose what they want to do, considering the way he's hunting down his own son.
No.
Free to die. Ha! Word choice.
So with Fey children, they are raised in one of the realms, or one of the groups, whatever you want to call them. Once they reach maturity, they don't have to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, so he's just hunting Sim down because he's salty.
Yeah. He's just
I get
salty.
like Sim left then. Screw that guy.
If Sim were to actually say, "Hey, no, I am going to totally be part of the winter or fall court, and I'm going to be part of said person's group." So take the Enchantress. If he said, "I'm going to be part of the fall court, and I'm going to be part of the Enchantress's court," then the Lord Marshal couldn't do anything about it.
Okay.
However, Flash is not Fey. He has been gifted with this dire jaguar. And the only thing that the Lord Marshal has said is hunt. So that's really open to a mortal.
I'm kind of late to the party. It was never specified what we're hunting. I was just heard there was a hunt going on, and suddenly I've got this cool jaguar thing.
Thank you, autumnal. I can't talk today. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you've got this weird jaguar thing, who is named. Wait a minute.
Spike.
Yeah, Spike.
I thought it was Flash 2, the Electric Boogie or something like that.
I love Flash too.
The Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, that's what it was, the Electric Boogaloo.
Spiky Boogaloo. Spiky.
You're gonna rock down too. I just bounce for the Jaguar. Take Minty.
Timian's looking to see if his dad's telling him to follow or come home type situation too, because that's Timian's daddy's boy.
Yeah, so the Lord Marshal is actually at this point, as the party is going back through the Vale to the Material Rain, is at the border between their lands, screaming in the Enchantress's face.
I feel really bad for the Enchantress. I like her.
You feel bad after you gave up your eggs?
I feel bad she's having to deal with him. He sounds shitty.
Always complicated, okay? She's got layers. She's like an onion.
I mean, she does shed skin, so layers, I guess.
So at some point
This is her donkey.
between their yelling match, he does turn to Timian and go, "Do your fucking job!" And he turns back and continues yelling at the Enchantress. And I hope that was acceptable.
He seems exceedingly pleasant, and I'm very sad that we didn't get to spend more time with him and his enchanting company.
All Fae are actually pleasant if you greet them in the correct manner.
Fair, very
In
fair.
fairness,
During
when you
this
people, they get angry, justifiably.
When what? Sorry, cut out.
during this boring holdup, Flash will probably lean over to one of the other Fae in the hunt and be like, "So, what are we hunting? Where are we going? What's happening?"
We're gonna hunt all of the peoples. All of them.
The peoples.
All the peoples.
But that's boring.
Well, do you want to hunt something else?
Is there anything bigger?
I
Probably more with teeth and claws.
Well, I'm sure there
Look at the
are.
bones.
Well, and now the creature you are talking to looks like an elven woman, only she's got spikes going down like all of the bones that you might possibly see.
Ah, a
So,
dire elf.
yeah, including down her spine. And she goes, "Well, fuck. Do you have an option to hunting one of those? Because, like, normally we hunt mortals because, you know, it's like the greatest game and they're supposed to be really intelligent and stuff. But can you hunt a dragon? Do you have that option?"
Is there a dragon nearby? Because I'll hunt the fuck out of a dragon.
Well, not in the Feywild.
Then what are we doing here?
Well, we were going to hunt them, but apparently the Lord Marshal is yelling at the Enchantress. I don't know if that's going to work out.
Is there like a big, obvious portal or something right behind the Enchantress where everybody else went? Or
Oh
what?
yeah, no, there is a big, obvious, glowing portal, and the party hasn't just run through because Ro had to talk to the Enchantress. So they talked, she opened it, and they finished talking, and the party is running through. It's still there, but it is starting to flicker and diminish.
I think Ro just made a wish on her way through the portal that her fairy grandmother that she just inherited should grant.
I was talking about just doing a Monster Hunter World campaign, which
All
is
right.
going to happen
Well,
anyway.
I would like to mention the Enchantress just said the material world. She didn't say what world.
When? Yeah.
Or
She even
when.
said time was flexible.
Yep. Which, hey, that's fun.
Flash will move his Jaguar up a little bit until he's more or less abreast of the whatever the dude that's screaming at the Enchantress is called. I have no idea what's going on. Be like, "Hey, dude, are we getting on with this hunt or what's the holdup, man?
Hey, dude.
I'm getting bored here."
Alright, so he was in the middle of an argument with the Enchantress. He just turns to you and go, "Of course we're fucking hunting! We're the fucking Wild Hunt!"
Cool. And then I ride through the portal.
Alright.
Bro,
Probably
I want to.
screaming for the hunt or something.
Bro, come on.
Probably running right past everybody else as they're lollygagging about the portal. But
So I just had a fun thought. If this is a time portal that goes way back in time, Flash eventually dies there and becomes Shane.
oh, you said time portal. I immediately thought I was going to get to hunt dinosaurs, and that seemed pretty badass.
That may happen. But Shane is the magic weapon Tucker got in the Saturday morning campaign that talks like a surfer boy.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
really feel like you're on your way there.
Yes. Necessary now. Shoot. Requisite that you have to wear board shorts now if you're gonna play that character.
Some
We don't need
dinosaurs,
to do this, it
bro.
has to. Surfboard in the background, sunscreen.
Yeah. Oh.
Had things like whoa.
All right. So, Shayna, I do have to ask because
Aw.
I know you want to do the Monster Hunter World thing,
Yes.
and also I kind of want to do it with what's going on here. Do you want to take over as DM for the Sun Puppies for a bit?
That wouldn't work with these characters, both in personality and in build. Honestly, what I'm building is a lot more.
Well,
People actually need to be cohesive and cooperative, and we're all a little too directionally oriented different. So
it could be the children of those characters that have grown up there having to learn how to exist because they all got stuck there.
absolutely an option. And I am kind of getting to the point where stuff is done, but it wouldn't be. It's a long story. Mine's not quite in the prehistoric era. There is modern.
Would you be okay?
5 eggs.
Would you be okay with the Sun Puppies going to a world where the Monster Hunter World stuff is starting?
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm not wanting to do run a Monster Hunter campaign. I in no way am like wanting to be the only one doing that.
All right.
I like what Steph just said.
What did Steph say?
We get to play 5 fake children.
Actually, that would be astonishingly cool. I would be.
They go on like a teenage quest to rescue their mom, who is trapped in Monster Hunter World.
Like I just told you, Becco, who became a hermit and lives off in the woods, and Godlo Cuckoo maybe got captured by some big baddie.
It'll be like the random portal where Geralt just ports into Monster Hunter World. It's like, I'm gonna kill some dudes and I'm just gonna leave.
No. The problem is, I think we have more than 5 people, so we couldn't do that.
Well, we could because Timian's not being told to follow, so I could become a local POC in this new world.
Or
I'm
we
flexible.
have 5 characters played by multiple players with split personality disorder.
I've been wanting to do that, and no one wants to do that.
That sounds
You wanna
fucking
do that
awesome.
for the next campaign, dude.
I mean, why not just play Wraith at that point?
Play what?
Remember you were asking about Wraith? The reason that people didn't play it is because 2 players play 2 aspects of the same.
But that's no one wants to do that with me.
It's
I
complicated.
would do that shit.
No. I just like playing crazy. I don't like playing this serious
Playing.
bullshit.
Playing.
I could come across the street and hit you.
Doors
I won't. Damn it. You never lock your door.
I told you that like my doors were open this week and it creeped me out, so they're locked again. You know, I always leave that one door unlocked. I think the maintenance guys just left the doors open during the day because I came home from work.
Oh.
Nothing's missing, but I was like, you know what? Locked.
Yeah, no. Anyway.
If we're in, whatever.
All right. So
Anyway.
as you all jump through the portal, including Flash, where as Flash goes through, everyone else is just kind of like standing, looking around. You are in a dense jungle, very similar to what Akira has. However, there is a person standing in front of you with black hair, kind of like hide armor, and a ridiculously sized greatsword on his back.
Oh, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Anime bullshit. I love it.
Yeah, Spike does make it through because Flash is riding on the back of him. And no, that is not Scott's character because Narga actually is with you at this point. And he is looking at you really confused and is actually like reaching for his greatsword, but it's like really slow because
Hold on. Literally, no, holding my hands up like, hey. Hold on.
Says the lizard lady to the hunter.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not used to race or speciesism. Yeah, I think
it would be
trying to call it
speciesism.
speciesism. Not used to speciesism. I'm assuming that he's just we scared him, not talking lizard is the weird bit.
Okay.
Although maybe that'll startle him enough to not cut me in half. We'll find out.
As you're holding your hands up, I do need to know if Timian does come through.
No,
No? Okay. Then,
he wasn't being told to, so he's dead.
alright. So, this person does still, like, pull up his sword. However, he is, like, pointing behind you as he's pulling for his greatsword.
Comedic slow turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's behind us?
If you are turning behind you, this thing looks like a large Tyrannosaurus Rex, only it's kind of pinkish in color, and it's got feathers on its shoulder, and it is barreling down on you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Flash is in heaven. You are welcome, sir. We accidentally brought you to your perfect place.
Yeah, right up until he meets the Calicos and decides to lead a revolt.
Are you kidding? Please.
Favorite terrain jungle, favorite enemy monstrosities. Here
Yeah,
we
can I
go.
pretty please become I want to be a palico. Can I be someone's palico?
Yes, you can be someone's palico.
What the hell's a palico?
How dare you? Play Monster Hunter World, you swine.
Well, you're
It's
going
where
to
Flash gets to
find
live
out,
out its
even if you
ultimate
don't.
fantasies.
Yeah, you're gonna find out, my friend. It's just a companion that you get in Monster Hunter World. It's a small cat that is incredible and can wield weapons, and I just want to be Mouse Killer Chef. I'm assuming I can't because I know you've made him in something else already, but
You know what? You can make another Meowscular chef, and we can be.
can I make his twin?
Yes, and then we could be opposing chefs, constantly competing against each other.
One of us is traditionalist and one of us is fusion.
Yes.
Sim actually gets a job in Ravnica holding a cooking contest show, and he brings in contestants from different times and worlds. So he
Yes.
two of you to compete against each other.
Yes, please.
Halfling cats, got it.
Yeah, basically. Well, yeah. Yeah, because
I will rule them like a god.
but can do weapons. Yeah. They're all very
So you're gonna lead a revolution because they're all like perma sidekicks.
Viva la revolution.
I mean, you pretty much do already.
Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately for the Sun Puppies, I am going to be in England next Tuesday.
Jealous.
So unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, unfortunate for the Sun Puppies, not unfortunate
Yes,
for me.
yes.
Because I'm going to get to play with Jeremy Crawford. But next Tuesday, I'm not going to be available. The following Tuesday, is it the
Maybe.
9th or the 10th?
That's the 9th, and that will be the last Sunday I'm available for all of July.
The Sunday?
Okay.
The 9th?
The
Oh,
ninth
sorry,
is-
no, Tuesday. Tuesday's the 9th. That's the Tuesday after.
All right, so the 9th I should be able to play again.
Okay.
And that'll be my last time that I'm available in July, actually for Saturdays or Sundays, until I get to my new home and am settled with my new internet on the 31st,
Okay.
which is literally when I'm supposed to get my new internet.
Late July, I'll probably be disappearing for a long while because I'll be headed to my new duty station and
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I can work with Flash riding his dire jaguar in this new world.
So are you going to run the game still, or is Shayna taking over? Where did we land on that?
I think I'm still running it until
Okay.
something comes up. But
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like since people are popping in and out, it may not be a great idea to start a really involved one. Instead, continuing would probably be easier. That's my only real thought on it right now.
yeah.
But maybe if you're gonna be gone in July, maybe sometime in August is when we can start mine.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's almost done, but I can't actually, it won't be done until I have everybody's backstories and character information. So we'll do a session 0. We could actually do a session 0 next week.
Except I'm not going to be available.
Right, but you and I can
Yeah,
chat another time to do that.
Yeah, we can do a session 0 one-on-one
Yeah.
later.
Right, but I could do a session 0 real quick with everybody else at this time or after some other game, because I need everybody to then be able to finish their backstories and have them to me by then, because it'll be really fair. Your backstories will be really, really involved in the campaign itself. So your character motivations and all of that are going to be important.
This
So-
is the one that we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, the higher level one. I think we decided on 12 or 13. Something
Yeah,
like that. And the only rules were no evil alignment, which is my nice way of saying be prepared to be cooperative, because if you aren't, you will get killed quickly. And no rangers, because it's based on Monster Hunter World, and I thought that'd be funny, is that no one can be a ranger, so ha ha ha. That's
Sad,
honestly the
thanks.
only thought behind that. It's my inside joke to just me. Yep, sorry, too bad. Sorry, Flash.
So, you guys, when do you guys actually leave, Becca?
Tomorrow?
Friday.
Friday.
Okay, so yeah.
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we still get to do Brainbog.
Okay, so
Only-
Brian Dog will be our last game until you guys are back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just tomorrow's going to be a little bit weird because I should probably stop the stream.